Hey everyone, this is Carla, and I'm going live to give you my retrospective of receiving my ITIL 4 certification 1 week ago today, Sunday, March 31st, 2019. And I have a lot of great things happen to me and a lot of wonderful opportunities that I wanted to help you with. So this time it's 7:32 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right now. I took my online proctor exam by your people store at 7:50 p.m. So around like a full week ago today. And the reason why receiving my ITIL 4 mattered were these things. One, the new version came out, and even though ITIL 3 is good until June 2020, there weren't too many ITIL 4s that were out there. And since ITIL 4 was just released February 28th, 2019, I wanted to be one of the early adopters and trailblazers, and receiving my ITIL 4 helped me a lot in this way that when you're an early adopter, you get to increase and enhance your competitive advantage. And that really spoke to me this week because I got to put my ITIL 4 certification on my resume. Then 2 days later, I did the virtual unboxing because I actually received the certificate with the corresponding certification ID number. And for those who receive any type of certification, once you receive it, you receive an ID number that specifically identifies you and your name whenever potential employers want to look you up. And the fact that I'm ITIL 4 is huge. You're, if you are in IT service management, I would highly recommend getting the ITIL 4 right now because it provides you with a unique competitive advantage that if you were to take the ITIL 3, you wouldn't have, because you know that in 14 months you would have to turn around and take the ITIL 4 because the ITIL 3 is being phased out. But I also talked about the other opportunities that I received for ITIL 4. So I was able to help somebody actually pass the ITIL 4 exam. And that is great because, as I mentioned before, it's one thing when you study and you pass it, but to be able to have the transferable skills and to take what works for you, give it to someone else, and it works for them. That's when you really achieve mastery, because that means that that formula just doesn't work for you, it works for other people. And speaking of which, I'm also looking for any companies who want to integrate and implement ITIL 4 principles in their organization. You can get in touch with me at carlarjenkins.com/contact. I'll put that link in the description because I have done online training for IT service management and ITIL. When I had ITIL 3, I still have that, as well as project management. In addition to ITIL 4, I have project management professional certified Scrum, 12 years of problem solving experience in project management, agile project management, and IT service management. Another thing that I help somebody with is get prepared for the ITIL 4. And I also had a learning experience. So as I mentioned before, the ITIL 4 is relatively new. Well, it is new. It's a little over a month old. And I learned from somebody that a potential vendor that I didn't think had ITIL 4 not only had ITIL 4 prep, but it was sky high. And we're talking automated. We're not talking in person. And just the fact that this vendor, who is a reputable vendor, but when I was looking for online practice tests for this current iteration of the certification exam, I asked the chat, and the chat administrator said that it was for ITIL 3. Okay, fine. Only to realize that the same vendor had an online that was hundreds of dollars. Now, I managed to get the training I needed for ITIL 4, get the official ITIL 4 manual and the test app, plus the voucher, which gave me a discount on the exam for less than 1/3 of the cost that this lady paid for one class. Now, we're not even talking about the exam that she has to take. And if she asks the exam on top of that, I believe it would be 1/4 to 1/5. So once again, what I'm very happy about for ITIL is when you work with me, it's about value, and it's all about making sure that I demystify the process, and that is the portability and the transferable skills that I offer for ITIL 4, as well as project management professional and certified Scrum. I'm current in all three. But that's one of the biggest things for ITIL 4 retrospective. I will also say, especially on LinkedIn and in the Facebook community, being around other ITIL 4 recipients and having that burgeoning community is very important, because as an early adopter, it's not too many of you, so you can trade war stories, build camaraderie, and have support, because you're getting it in the first month. So not too many people have it. I do feel that I'm one of the rare people who probably have the ITIL 4 in my hometown of Cleveland or the state of Ohio. I don't know, I probably am, but I'm just happy to take advantage of every opportunity that became available. And I'm very grateful that I learned about the ITIL 4 opportunity, because I kept current with IT service management and I just wanted to become better, and I had the initiative. I also made sure I conserved my money, had a plan. That's something I would recommend, whether or not you're pursuing this type of certification or anything, to have some type of finance plan and stay within your budget to make sure that you don't have to spend as much money as I mentioned before. And that's something I would also recommend. But the things that I learned is the importance of making sure you stay current in your industry, the importance of an early adopter, the importance of mastery and serving as a mentor. And that's why I feel that I have the skill for ITIL 4. And as I mentioned before, if anybody has a firm or a company and they need help implementing and instituting the new ITIL 4 principles in their organization or their environment, they can always get in contact with me at carlarjenkins.com/contact. So I would like to thank everybody for taking out the time to watch this video. I greatly appreciate it, and I'll see everyone in the next live stream video. Goodbye.